Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Azzy and welcome to another segment of our Am I the Jerk series where I read stories off the internet and let you decide in a blind react if that person is the jerk. You again don't know what it is. It's the same thing as Am I the a-hole? But these are my blind reacts. My first reactions are what you see. If you are new here, welcome. If you have not been here, if you have been here before, welcome back. Let's jump into the story for today. The title is I ruined a vacation because I said no when my partner asked me to marry him. Am I the jerk? I'm gonna say right now, no. Because again, you can say no for any reason. And I say again because I just did a video a couple days ago about someone saying no to bedroom play while his girlfriend was drunk. You can say no. Now, my ex-partner asked me to marry him, even though I told him that I don't ever want to get married again. There's not really much to this story because the title explains it. I, female 42, have talked multiple times with my partner, male 43, about this topic. Okay, if you already talked to him about it, then why is he pushing the issue to get married? You've already told him I don't want to do that again. It's just a piece of paper. I don't need it in order to stay with you. I'm with you, and that's it. But it sounds like after this, he's the one that ruined not only just the relationship, but the vacation as well by asking you again or not listening to what you and him previously talked about, which is not okay. I told him that I never wanted to get married, and it's not about him, but it's just the fact that I see no point in it. I was married once and I had a horrible divorce when my ex tried to take away our daughter and more. Basically, I decided I never want to be bound to anyone in that way. It's easier to just break up than to divorce. Agreed. I'm currently going through a divorce, and so far the child custody part of it is done, but now he's dodging the child support. And if you guys want to hear about that, let me know in the comments. I will gladly tell my story because I feel like it can help multiple people out there. But I will do it in a more scripted and not so random way. So if you want to hear more details on that, let me know. And I always say scripted because I feel like when I do these react stories to these types of stories, um, my life story is in there in little bits and pieces. Like this one, for example, this person went through a horrible divorce. I'm going through a divorce. Um, I've had bad relationships where people have taken advantage of me, and it all boils down to one relationship because I was with the dude for 12 years. But it will not, if I do talk about it, it will not be in such a random way, is what I mean by scripted. My partner isn't really happy with this, and he asks me multiple times what would change my mind and do I just not want to marry him. These questions started to infuriate me and would lead to arguments because I said it a million times. He's just, I don't know why some people are insecure. They want that piece of paper. Like, you're mine, I'm yours for the rest of our lives because we have this paper. It's just paper. I don't need a piece of paper to tell me that I love you and that I want to stay with you for the rest of my life. I don't need a paper to do that. But at the same time, I guess I'm kind of falls in the category. I want to be a paper. Me and my fiance, we are engaged. We are going to get married on paper as soon as my divorce is finalized. That's not we have to lock it down before someone else gets in their thing because somebody else could always get in there in the way of your relationship by one person having an affair. So it can happen regardless if you're broken up or in a relationship or married. It doesn't really matter. It can happen at any time. But at the same time, I feel like men want to have that security of having a piece of paper. Because my ex really pushed it for a long time that he wanted us to get married, and I denied it for a long time. I'm gonna have to make a video because I keep talking about it. So we'll get into it. I'll make a video for it. Let's continue. Um, Last time we had an argument, it was at the beginning of July when he started that topic again, and I told him that I think we need to stop this relationship because it's obvious we don't agree in it. I made a big deal about it, and my daughter and his kids were mad at me because I wanted to break up, but he didn't. That's so manipulative. Your kids, oh my gosh, kids don't need to be involved in it. I feel like it's your relationship. If you guys choose to break up, then you guys choose to break up. It could be that your daughter sees him as a father figure and doesn't want to lose that. But if you break up, she doesn't necessarily have to lose that. So my kid's dad is my ex, and they're saying my kid's father, I should say, because anyone can be a father. Anyone can go on the Maury show and here you are the father, but it takes a real person to step up to be a dad. And that's what my fiance has done. He has stepped up and is my kid's dad. My kids want him to adopt him. It's a whole nother story. But if he stepped up and became the dad figure to your daughter, that could be why she's upset. But you don't necessarily have to lose that if you all were to break up. For example, I told my fiance if we were to ever break up, you're still dad. You don't have to financially do anything because you're not biologically their dad. But if you ever wanted miss them and wanted to take them for the weekend or wanted to take them out to eat, by all means, you're their dad. You left a lasting impression on them enough to want them to want they want them oh my gosh, they want him to adopt them. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Um, so you obviously left that lasting impression on them. I'm not going to take that away just because you and I didn't work out. That's so cool, in my opinion. But anyway, I decided to stay and I was finally convinced we were done with the topic and he agreed to just continue living together until we went on vacation last week to Greece and for some reason he asked me to marry him. He probably asked because it was a romantic spot, he would catch you off guard. Y'all have talked about it a million times. I've had a bunch of arguments about it and he's just not seeing eye to eye. It's like he's not listening on this. He wants to be married again. I'm assuming again since he has children from a previous relationship and you don't because your divorce was so messy. You guys aren't on the same wavelength, and I think you guys breaking up was the best option for your relationship, just so you both have that peace. It made me so mad. I seriously didn't know if I wanted to cry or scream. He asked me in front of my daughter and his kids and made it even worse. He did that on purpose. It's a romantic vacation. It's a romantic family vacation. I'm gonna get you to say yes, is what that was. I said no and went back to the room. They stayed behind and probably talked shit about me now, quoting, that's what it said. But now I realize that not marrying him was a good choice because even though I said no multiple times before, he thought that if he pressured me on vacation at a public place in front of the kids, I would feel obligated to say yes. That's 100% what I said. 100%. He did that on purpose. It was a manipulation tactic to force you to say yes because you're in public, you're in a romantic vacation in front of your children. The pressure to say yes is entirely huge, and some people fall for it. Let's just be honest. I packed my bags and told my daughter to do the same. She was mad at me, but she will get over it. So we came back from the trip only 2 days after we arrived. I didn't want to continue this relationship because I feel disrespected and disgusted by the way he thinks. I agree. I personally don't think I'm the jerk, but this is more of a rant. But I guess you tell me. No, you're not the jerk. You've said it multiple times. You said no, but he just keeps persisting, and even thought that asking you at a romantic vacation spot in front of your child, in front of his children, in public, was going to do the trick to manipulate you into saying yes. That marriage would be nothing of manipulations, because he would know at that point that if he asked you and bugged you about it for so long, eventually you would say yes to whatever he asked, because you just get tired of it. Or he'd manipulate you into it by creating a spectacle. And there's edits with this one, so let's read the first edit. Edit. I never knew I would get so many comments and for people to agree with me. Thank you. Little add to this, many people mentioning that my past relationship is the reason I don't want to marry, but no, it's not. I don't even think about my first failed marriage, and it's irrelevant. I just don't want to get married again because it doesn't feel special or important anymore. Besides that, since I left from vacation last week, he sent me multiple messages accusing me of cheating, and that being the reason I don't want to get married. He called me some shameful names, so that tells me enough about how much he really loved me or cared. Safe to say this relationship is completely over. Congratulations, OP. I am so happy to hear that you left. And he showed his own colors after the vacation by accusing you of cheating and calling you names. Now you see the kind of person he is for who he really is. He probably worked with his previous partner who gave him the children, but you are like, I recognize this, and it's done. 100% done. We are not getting back together. Ever, ever, ever. Basically, now he is still calling me and sending me messages. Block him. It's easy to do. Block him. But saying he's sorry for calling me names and saying I'm cheating on him. He's again saying it doesn't matter, that I don't want to get married and that we shouldn't break up. I know this isn't true because he said it before too. And yeah, I guess this is the last edit. It's the last edit because the relationship is done. There's no more editing her relationship status on Facebook. She is DONE, done. Stick a fork in it. Done. That relationship is done. And I'm so happy for this. And I know I'm making jokes. I know I'm trying to be silly, but at the same time, I'm so proud of you, because so many people will be like, oh, he didn't really mean it. And I know, because I was one of those people. I need to make a video on that. Stop mentioning the previous divorce. I only mentioned it to say that I was married once, so it's not like this is something new to me and he's scared or whatever. It's as simple as that. I don't want to marry him or anyone for whatever reason. I loved him, but now I hate him because he's a lying idiot who keeps insisting he is fine with not being married and then talks about it all the time. I don't care. I agree. You just need to be done. And it sounds like you are. Like, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I don't need the t-shirt again. That one didn't fit me right. And we're just going to move on. I'm not going to worry about getting that t-shirt over and over again. I'm not going to lie, my second marriage is, I feel, going to feel more important to me, because the first time I got married, I said I do literally so I can turn around and get divorced while he was gone on deployment, because I knew it wasn't a good situation, and I knew that was going to be the only way the children and I could leave safely without him bothering me or harassing us or getting his family to harass us, was when he wanted to leave the boot camp to go join the army. He didn't actually end up going, which it was just another manipulation side, but he couldn't initially go because he had me and the three kids. So he needed to be married. So my plan to leave the terrible relationship was to wait for him to leave for boot camp and then turn around and get like the marriage annulled or get divorced while he was at boot camp and leave the house, take my car and take the kids and leave. That was the plan. But he foiled it. But I will make a longer video on that now. I'm not going to bother that. But OP, you are not the jerk whatsoever.